We are happy to announce that this episode of the SWW Show is partially brought to you by Humble Bundle. Well, not really. We are part of the Humble Bundle referral program, and we just wanted to say that if you like really cheap games and maybe helping charity pending the Humble thing going on, all you have to do is go to humblebundle.com/partner equals SWW. That's right, humblebundle.com/partner equals SWW. And you just do your normal stuff, and it just kind of helps us get a couple bucks here and there. Maybe it helps AJ get his lights, maybe it's Mike camera, maybe we actually pay Corey for helping us out. But again, if you're going to go buy games anyway, it might be worth checking out.
Hello everyone and welcome to episode number 46 of the SWW Show. 4 more episodes before we do a video one of these.
I'm thinking for that video, how much how much does it cost for us to get to the International Space Station?
Well, somebody's done it, right? Like somebody took tourists up there.
That's what I mean. I'm like, can we do that? Can we do the podcast from space?
I mean, I currently don't have that kind of money just sitting around.
Okay, let's see. I'm gonna do a quick. This is live. Everyone, this is live. Listen, on it's live. Let's see.
I have a feeling it's $500,000 at least per person. Because
somewhere between $250,000 to $500,000, it looks like.
I was going to say, because I think
those are the fake ones, though. If you want the actual space, it's $50 million.
$50 million to go to the space station?
Because the other ones are like the fake ones, like they go into the atmosphere and they're like, I'm in space.
Blue Origin.
Like that bullshit. I don't mean that bullshit. I mean like real space. I wanna fucking like us like in our fucking suits out there type space.
I feel like that would be a horrendous show. It would be so bad.
The audio alone?
Yeah. The audio wouldn't be that great. But no, we'll do something. We'll figure it out. What we won't have to figure out, though, is what we've been playing. Because we have already played. Mikhail, you have been playing, I assume this is Final Fantasy VII?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I thought FF was obvious. I was playing the remake one. I apparently never actually finished. I was like most of the way there. So I was just kind of putzing on that one. I am waiting because Steam updated their. We'll check right now live also. Updated their list on the Steam Deck, so in theory I should get one in the next couple weeks, which is exciting.
Oh yeah.
Because I was in the Q4 one, but they updated, so I went in Q4 and I was in Q3, and Q3 ends in September. So I'm somewhere in the next couple weeks I should have a Steam Deck. So next show, there's a chance we can discuss the Steam Deck, which is exciting. Does that mean I just play weird, obnoxious shit on the Steam Deck? Maybe. But it's a Steam Deck we can talk about. But yeah, Final Fantasy VII. I just wanted to shout out. Still plays really well. Even a couple years later, I am still shocked how good that remake is. And for anyone who it's one of those that looking at that one, because I remember those jokes of being a game that's never gonna come out, and then it came out and it was really good. Is just surprising, and I think it's surprising how well it actually holds up. So I wanted to shout that out. But that was kind of it's been a weird month otherwise. So that was kind of the big thing I wanted to shout out.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of games that have been remade, even though it's not technically a remake, I think the best one out there is Resident Evil 8.
Yeah, no, that's...
Because it's basically a remake of 4. Like, it's effectively the same setting. There's obviously a few different things. But RE8 is like a modern take on RE4. And I guess if you want to stick in the RE series, like the RE2 remake is probably the best remake ever.
I was going to say, if you want to go with the RE remake, I would just go the actual RE remakes are dumb.
Yeah.
Which is surprising, because that's another series that, let's be honest, a couple years ago, everyone's like, the series is dead. Like, it was kind of this assumed.
Well, I think a lot of people were like, when they heard about 7, and they're like, it's going to be first person.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay. And I think I've got the timeline right. I think Final Fantasy VII was first, or not Final Fantasy VII, sorry. RE7 was announced that it was going to have some sort of first person before PT came out. I think is how the timeline went.
It's right around there. It's right around there.
So everybody's idea went from this is going to suck to this is going to be awesome within a year. So yeah, I mean that switch going from one of the worst big games ever in RE6 to effectively rebooting that franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the fact that they called it Biohazard, I think was awesome. Because obviously that's what it is in Japan. It's called Biohazard. Was such a cool little nod to the history of that series. Much like, speaking of nods to the history of the series, I've been playing through more of Forza Horizon 5. And they keep like, they'll reference like previous Horizon entries. So like the one thing now, there's a line from one of the characters that's like, I think I saw this in like the UK recently. Which obviously Horizon 4 was set over in the UK. So I was like, okay, I see what you guys are doing. You're kind of having fun with this, and it's cool, and you're making it like a, the story was always right, that the Horizon Festival travels, so it's all the same characters and this and that. And the fact that it actually feels like it in this one is pretty cool. That being said, this game is such a... even more so than previous ones, like, just a checklist game.
But isn't that, like, in a weird way, I feel like that's what I want from those games? Like...
I mean, I want Horizon games to be, like, ridiculous, I guess is the right word. Right, like I want races where the restriction is the performance index of the car, and so I can be driving around a like PLP 50 with a crotch rocket motor in it that does 180 miles an hour. Meanwhile, I'm racing like a Honda Civic because it's the same PI, but now it's not only are you limited by the performance, but it's for the season stuff, it restricts you to this has to be done with a X, Y, or Z. 70 to 89 car performance level 700, which is a B. Or 60s classic rally cars that can be performance level 700. So it's taking that kind of obnoxiousness that Horizon was always known for, and at least for the seasonal stuff, just completely eliminating that. Like, there's still some stuff you can do with, like, you can get a little crazy with it, but so few of the cars that you want to actually have fun with can get you to what you need, or like you can keep them there. So it's definitely one of those games where it's become I have 15 minutes kind of game. So I'll just keep slogging away at that. I finally have bought all of the player houses, so that's a big big check off the checklist. I still need to do more of the Hot Wheels stuff. I haven't really done any of that since I streamed it. But yeah, I mean, other than that stuff that I've played, I've been trying some stuff that we might end up doing for other streams, things like that. So, yeah,
Nothing too extreme. Yeah.
not too crazy.
It's one of those months. It's the summer. It's the lull summer. Like, let's be honest.
I mean, normally, like right now, I'd be getting into like Madden,
which I heard was actually broken.
Yeah, well, Madden's always been broken, but
I heard this year was like special.
Yeah, I had it. So I subscribed to the EA Origin Plus whatever, right, on PC. So I get the Ultimate Editions and I get the early trials and all that stuff. It was either last year or 2 years ago. The game was so broken that I could throw double slants, throw the ball into the center of the field, my receiver could catch it, and the defense would get flagged. So I had to, I could just spam that play, that exact play. It took 10 seconds to run, and the defense would always get flagged. And it eventually got fixed in a patch, but it's one of those things, right, where it's like, okay, EA only has FIFA and Madden right now. Right, like the UFC games haven't released one of those in a while. Hockey, NHL really only does numbers in certain regions. So in terms of like, Ultimate Team stuff, the fact that one of your two cash cows is completely broken is bad sign. Yes, they're still raking in cash.
Especially because they are, like, it is the cash cow. Like, whenever you look at EA's financials, it is like, oh, we are 90% microtransactions, whatever dumb number they are. Like it is shocking how microtransaction heavy that EA as a company is. And yeah, that is a concern that if all of a sudden your game breaks or whatever like that could massively mess with the numbers, probably more than other publishers.
Yeah, I mean, like, EA still needs to make good on Battlefield. Right, they're trying to. But they still need to. EA is still in the shitter for a lot of people for what they did with Battlefield. So, the fact that you're going to release one of your two cash cows in such a broken state is hilarious. And the fact that the PC version doesn't get the new stuff is a slap in the face. Like, they treat the PC version as the PS4 version. So you don't get the new. There's like some new AI that they're running with the PS5 series stuff, and the PC doesn't get that. And I'm like thinking to myself, why? Right? Are they tying that stuff so tightly to the fact that they have an SSD that they can play with? And they can't guarantee that on PC. There's so many questions about why they're treating it that way. And EA never answers that stuff. That's like trying to pull teeth for them. But yeah, I don't know. It's that, like you said, it's that time of year where we're doubling back on a lot of stuff that we either like to play or we wanted to play, didn't get a chance to. That kind of stuff. So,
especially it's gonna be interesting because, like, as we'll get to at the end of the show, this is a light fall. Like, I don't know if people quite realize how late this fall actually is.
The funny thing is, like, everyone complains about, especially the press, right? Like, we don't have time to finish games. Especially for, like, Game of the Year stuff. You're finally getting a chance to do that.
Totally, like, I'm not saying there isn't indie games, it won't be, like, some surprise stuff, like, we've kind of already seen that, but, like, there's not this marquee stuff that, like, will take hundreds of hours, I think, coming out this fall. It's en masse, like...
Yeah, you're not getting an 80-hour game every other week.
Right, you're getting, like, your big games this fall are, like, Some Nights, God of War, and, like, Call of Duty, which, Pokemon, and, like, I think we mentioned Callisto, like, these are not bad games by any stretch, don't get me wrong. Or, like, small games, even. But, like, it's less than years past, for sure.
And, I mean, realistically, right, like, God of War's 30 hours.
Sure, and, like, but, like, 30 hours can add up. Like, we had, we had like, 5 30-hour games, at least that's a big deal. But, like, the point is...
And, Call of Duty is probably going to be, at least for me, I would look at getting it for the campaign.
Yeah.
Because they did such a good job with the first one. But, yeah, I think for a lot of reviewers and for Game of the Year stuff, it's just going to be like, hey, check out Call of Duty, play 3 Warzone matches. So it's not a huge investment, unlike what you've been watching.
Which one?
I mean, either of them is the Snowden one you watched, the one with JGL?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I've seen it before. I haven't seen it in a few years. My girlfriend never saw it. I really like the film. It has the we're gonna call it the stink of the director. I think is the nicest way to call it. We don't know the why am I drawing a blank on his director? Words. Oliver Stone directed the film. I think he wrote it. So there's a certain thing you expect from Oliver Stone film that aren't always the best, and I think it's fair to say Oliver Stone's ideas bleed into anything he does. But I do enjoy the film. Is that a fair way of calling it? You watch any film of Oliver Stone and you know what he thinks of a person. There's no doubt in my mind. Do you have any idea where?
Yeah, I mean, also, like, he's not shy about it.
No, totally, but like, I think he's interested in the fact of, like, people may not show it, but the movies leave some uncertainty. There is no uncertainty.
I mean, I think also very few people really tackle that kind of stuff. Like, you're not going to see Tarantino take on JFK, for instance.
I feel like that'd be pretty.
He's going to create fictional characters
that were there around the time of it and happened to walk past the shooter.
Maybe,
like that would be the JFK story from Tarantino.
Yeah, or it happens in the background, like.
Right.
It could be a Reservoir Dogs style thing where it just happened, or something like that, right? So, yeah, I mean, Oliver Stone stuff, I'm like, It can be good. It can also be a stinker.
I think that's a very way to describe Oliver Stone, a very fair way.
Which sucks, right? Because, like, as a director, your goal isn't to be highest of highs and lowest of lows.
Mm-hmm.
You want your low to be a mid-tier movie, and your high to be an all-time classic.
Mm-hmm. Which, to be fair with Stone, he has some great films. Like, it's not like he has all bad films.
Right.
But he has some lows, we'll get into it. I don't think this is one of the lows, fucker. But I'm just saying he does have those lows.
What do you think Chris Nolan's lowest movie is?
Nolan, The Following.
You think Following's lower than Tenet?
Yeah, I think so. I think Tenet is not always the best executed.
So
I think Tenet's still more of a fun watch, and I think that's what saves it.
Yeah, I've gone back and watched Tenet several times since we did a movie club for it.
Mm-hmm.
And when you know the shtick, it's way more fun.
That's what I mean. Like, Tenet, when you know what's happening, is a really fun film. And I think Tenet does some cool visuals. I think Tenet was a case of us being too high on the trailers. I don't think Tenet was a case of it being a bad film.
Initial impressions of that for me were like, okay, he has one too many things going on.
Still stick with Tenet showed me that if you could constrain Nolan, I think he could be a cool Bond director. The asterisk of if you could constrain Nolan, because I think Tenet's a good example of when no one constrained him.
I mean, the problem with Nolan, right, is, and in theory it could benefit a Bond style thing, is he loves to have open-ended stories where you're not quite sure what the...
I think that could benefit like a Bond movie though, and especially like intro like a new Bond, and you leave it open ended. So then, if a new director comes in and does the sequel, you don't have to you have some wiggle room.
Well, it's the problem with like Dark Knight Rises, right, where there's no, he doesn't tie it up. I mean, yes, you do see the shot of Bruce at the cafe, but you're like, is he still Batman? Is he not? Like, what's the situation there? You're not sure. And, with like Inception, you're not sure. And with Tenet, you're not sure.
But I think there is something cool, like in a weird way. So, spoilers for the last Bond film. There's the weirdness of, yes, it's closed in the sense we killed off Craig, but, like, the stuff around that world still really exists. And I think that's, to me, where there could be something there.
I mean, also, right, like, with No Time to Die, they tackled the question that I don't think people were expecting them to tackle of, okay, how could you approach James Bond dying? And they just do what they did. They just follow the agent 007. Right? So then it becomes, what draws more? Is it the 007 or is it the name James Bond? Right? Could this be a situation of, where like the Tom Clancy novels eventually started becoming like a Tom Clancy story or a Tom Clancy novel after he passed, right? Like, they were using the same characters, or it was, a Jack Ryan novel, or this or that, right? Like, does it need to be James Bond for the next one? Because the thing of it is, right, like, none of the Bond movies have James Bond in the title. It's always Dr. No, Goldfinger, No Time to Die, Skyfall, Spectre, Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace, right? Like, there's no James Bond, movie title. So, it's certainly an interesting situation. Much like the situation behind the movie that you also watched, which was Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
So I've seen this film. I want to point out. So people don't know, this is like the 2005 film?
Yeah,
starring
I think it's around
RDJ, Val Kilmer, Like, it is weird as flying fuck. I think it's the best way to describe this film. Like, I watched it, and I wasn't fully fucking sure what happened. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be frank here. RDJ, I also want to point out, at that point, like, I'm pretty sure Jon Favreau told this film is that I want him for Iron Man because he plays like the Iron Man RDJ in this.
Yeah, this was.
Also,
I don't know if it was his first big role back.
He had one more role. I looked it up. I forgot what it was, but there was like one role before this. This was not the role where he had to do the insurance. That's the Sing Detectives, the film for it. That's one where he had to do like pay for his own insurance and stuff.
Yeah.
This is the film after that. So, and also this is Shane Black's first film, which eventually he'll go and do Iron Man 3, which is where the RDJ, I think, connection eventually comes back with it. Yeah. Have you seen this film, AJ?
It's been years.
I don't think I can recommend. Like, it's one of those weird films where there's fun moments, but it's just weird. Also, I know Val Kilmer at that point was like the tail end of his prime, but like, I'm still not convinced Val Kilmer, besides in Top Gun, was ever a good actor or a fun actor to watch.
Heat. Is that the right one? Yeah, Heat.
Oh, maybe okay, Heat. I'll give you, but like, this was not one of his good roles.
No, he definitely has more misses than hits.
Like, this was one of those films I was like RDJ was the redeeming part of this film, and I think it's just they just let him play like the RDJ we would just see for a decade after that. It wasn't because the writing was great, just because like Robert Downey was a good actor and could kind of just make a bad scene like good.
Yeah.
So,
speaking of good actors that can make bad scenes good and so vice versa, I saw The Gentleman, which is the newest Guy Ritchie movie.
Yes. Okay.
Got Matthew McConaughey and
Colin Farrell, Grant.
It's not great.
One more film on the list,
It's not good.
So it looked fun when I remember seeing the trailers for this.
Yeah, that's yeah. There are fun moments, don't get me wrong.
I think Guy Ritchie's another one of the ones where he has some really good stuff, but like as a whole, I just want him stuff to be fun because like otherwise, I don't like Guy Ritchie. Which also I did not fucking realize Guy Ritchie did the Aladdin film. I don't know how I did not process that one. Like Guy Ritchie and with like Sherlock Holmes, I think that's when he's really fun. I think Guy Ritchie and Snatch, stupid fun. Like I think that's what you want him to see.
I mean, Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels is probably, if not his best, one of his best.
But like I'm like if I say, Man from Uncle's fun. Also, what is it with Guy Ritchie? You know, really liking Hugh Grant and everything he does.
They probably share the same barber.
Cause that's just the last couple films of Guy Ritchie. Like, why the fuck is Hugh Grant here? It's kind of the general trend.
I mean, Man from Uncle was. Which the funniest thing is, there is a Man from Uncle poster in The Gentleman.
Really?
Yeah, because they go to a meeting at Miramax. It's pretty funny. Yeah, I mean, like the Sherlock Holmes were good. Rock and Rolla was okay. But yeah, Snatch and Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. Like, he is definitely one that's like, oh man, his first feature film was Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels, which is still an 8.2 on IMDb.
Mm-hmm.
This movie was released like 25 years ago. It's still in the top 1,000 of popularity right now.
That's wild.
Like, it's just one of those movies that You know, and it's got a lot of people in it that, like, for example, it's got Jason Statham, it's got Vinnie Jones, it's got Dexter Fletcher. You know, it's got some big names that would become bigger actors.
So speaking of the film, I forgot to write down, by the way. Speaking of a film that is full of what would become a stupid list of actors, my girlfriend had never seen it, so I made her watch the 90s classic. Are you ready for what 90s classic we watched together?
Was it Outsiders?
No.
Or that's the 80s, I guess.
So think about it. 90s classic. For a lot of people, it's either their first role or one of their first roles. If I said to you 90s indie film, or I think indie film, or like that type of film, what is the pinnacle of goddamn 90s filmmaking?
Well, if you say Donnie Darko, that's not right, because that's 02.
Nope. It is Dazed and Confused.
Yep.
We watched Dazed and because she loves McConaughey and Ben Affleck, and I just didn't tell her that either when that film, and all of a sudden she goes, "Is that fucking Ben Affleck?" When he's like fucking like the bully, and then the McConaughey line that everyone knows. Right on.
Oh, it's all right. All right.
Yeah. But yeah, I just had to tell her. I haven't seen that film probably in a couple of years. It's still goddamn beautiful, Dazed and Confused.
Yeah.
I think you're Dazed and Confused watching it, but it's a fucking good time. That film you just want to throw the fuck on, crack open a couple beers, it's fucking Dazed and Confused.
Yeah, I mean, let's see. As an actor, what was McConaughey's?
That's his first film. Is that his first role?
It's his first full length.
So I thought this was the thing that like made McConaughey.
He had been in some other stuff before that, some music videos,
and that's like one of Affleck's first roles too. It's not his first, but it's like one of his first big ones.
Yeah. Man, talk about falling off a goddamn cliff. Dazed and Confused is your first role. You're in Angels in the Outfield, which I guess was a fairly popular movie, right, for a lot of kids. But then your fifth movie is Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation. Straight to VHS. And then, like, he was on EdTV. He was in U571. And then, like, Wedding Planner. Wedding Planner is, like, the first of his kind of rom-com movies.
Mm-hmm. Then it turns into the fucking decade of rom-coms.
Yeah, he played himself on an episode of Sex and the City. And then, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Yeah, and then from there, it just fucking becomes rom-com. Wolf on Wall Street.
Failure to Launch, We Are Marshall, Fool's Gold. Tropic Thunder, I mean...
Yeah. Also, Fool's Gold might be McConaughey's worst film he's ever done.
Mud.
I don't know. Fool's Gold is pretty damn bad.
Lincoln Lawyer.
I think it was worse because, like, just the cast, you'd expect it to be better. Yeah, that is all we got for the film stuff. I want to shout out the next thing on this list, which I think I don't think we've formally talked about. I think we kind of did it in streams, but I went to an Impact show. Yeah, I went to an Impact show, a wrestling Impact show.
No, it's Impact Wrestling.
Impact Wrestling. I believe it's the Cicero Civic Center or Cicero Stadium. I think it's Cicero Stadium on the southwest side of Chicago. This arena held approximately, I'd say 300 people.
Sounds about right.
The bar only had Miller Lite and it was cash only.
Sounds about right.
by bar, I mean it was like two people who had like a 24 pack, and they just gave them a couple bucks. Maybe it was a beer.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, it's actually an okay time. Also, they get pretty fucking gruesome. Impact, apparently.
Oh yeah, well, especially if Cardona's involved. Dude,
Like,
I want to see the Cardona Moxley match because
fuck.
just take him to the ER and hook him up to IVs. Right, those guys are going to bleed so much that. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff.
No, crazy stuff. I want to say it was actually a decently good time. I think.
You think?
It's like it's indie shows. Like it's a hit or miss, right?
Well,
and there's always those matches. You're like, I'm gonna like the girls' champ match. Went to go to the bathroom. I hate to break it up, but it's not a good match. But, like there was this fun gimmick where these two people, I forget who it was, were like going at each other, and they ran off the stadium, like right, like really fast. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Like that in the match. And then their whole thing was the wrestler. They're fucking up here at random spots in the audience. Started at one point, they had to shoot everyone who was sitting on the thing because they jumped like over the safety glass onto the actual people's chairs. Like it was some like actual show. I was like, what the fuck? It reminded me of when I went to an AA dub, which is the indie circuit in Chicago, like a couple months ago. My wife and I go with me. He had to literally duck because the wrestler's foot was ended up about an inch from his head. Like, is that type of shit happens?
No, you just stand there and just take that shit.
Oh no! Literally, he didn't duck. He was about to. It was full blown. Like, holy shit!
You just take that boot to the face. You get knocked the fuck out, and you're a legend.
Like you just look at him and just like wipe it off your mouth, and that's it.
You end up becoming, but you have to make sure somebody gets it on camera because you take a boot to the head like that, you're going to become the next, the gif of Tyler Black doing the backflip off the fat guy. You just in the stands and just take a roundhouse and just no sell it. I don't know, like, the one that I really wish I could have gone to is Hood Slam. Yeah, they used to have it out in Oakland. It might still be around, but I think it kind of got neutered a little bit. But it used to be like, it was the ultimate indie show, right? Like, you had guys dressing up as, like Ken and Ryu. You had Scorpion. You had Zelda characters. You had this and that, and they were just like having a blast. The one guy, Drugs Bunny, was like one of their main guys, and he was on Price is Right recently. I think it was within the past like 6 months. Like the actual guy, he wasn't as Drugs Bunny, and he might have gone to the showcase. Shotzi, who's currently in WWE, she did a circuit at Hood Slam. So
before we get out of wrestling talk and hop into actual film news, I do want to shout out that I'm going to, this is going on Friday, so on Sunday I will be at what am I thinking of? All Out. And so I'm hoping for a good fucking time for that one too. But I'm still shocked we don't know what the title match is going to be for that one, so I'm very confused on what the hell's going on with that.
Can we talk about that? Let's talk about that.
Let's talk about that.
Punk came back too early, didn't he?
I'm thinking the same. That's my only assumption.
Like, he was like, oh yeah, I'm good to go. He, like, put on a tough face for the doc, and he fucked his foot.
I'm assuming. Like, totally that's what Like
'Cause-
that is what I assumed it was.
Yeah.
Because like the way, like, I don't know if you saw that match. It was like he was a fucking nobody, and John Moxley just fucking killed him.
Oh, it was a squash, yeah.
It
So
was
I think-
like, and like,
Like, you see him kind of crumple down, and, like, the doc comes over. I think that's when he's like, dude, I fucked something up. We're squashing it. Like, we're just doing this right now.
because it's, to put in perspective, it is Mox's second loss in the history of AEW. Like not Mox, I'm sorry, CM Punk.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, but like that's what, like, so like you'd make it, and the other one was like in Chicago because that was during his feud with
MJF, right?
yes,
Yeah.
like that one was different, but like this one, like if we all expected was you unify them at All Out. Anything like that was the assumption, right? You unify All Out, and then it would be a fucking match, and then the assumption was CM Punk would win, but like you could see either truly winning if you like did honest, but like no one expected it to fucking be a squash match during Dynamite.
Yeah, it makes me feel
And,
like
like-
he definitely
and, like-
did something. Like, maybe he...
And like think about whose opponents, who the other champs could be. They all already have matches, so I don't know who the fuck Mox is gonna face.
Paige has a match? Paige has a match?
I guess that's it. I guess
Because
yeah,
I think
maybe-
he's technically the number one contender, so...
But the point is like, because Kenny, like, it's, I guess we'll know technically on Wednesday when we're recording this if Kenny Omega have a match or not. But like, I don't see Kenny Omega coming back because my assumption is why he's in Shields is because that way if he gets tired or whatever, like he has backup. So I don't see him doing a fucking 30-minute match.
Well, and they've
Like-
said as much. Like,
Right. So both like Bryan Danielson and Jericho both like in the match together. Like Adam Cole, I think, still injured. Like, I don't know who the fuck you make as champion otherwise, or at least for a fight for Mox. Like, these are your champion contenders.
yeah, let me see. Okay.
You're going to AEW's roster? What are you doing?
Well, I thought maybe going to the All Elite subreddit would give me a potential for, like, hey, here's some matches.
Okay, so let's say I have the roster up. I'm trying to see if anyone screams at me that makes sense. Yeah, because Pac's still All Atlantic, so like that'd be a weird one, but like in Wardlow too. Like those would be weird ones, but you could see it.
Let's see. Well, and supposedly,
Yeah.
isn't there, like, there's gonna be new footage on Dynamite, I think.
Hmm.
So, we would potentially see.
Yeah, because even like again the B cards who like like so the only Darby Allin, like I don't know, like I'm trying to think like realistically. Also, I appreciate how Jeff Hardy is still on the AEW roster.
I mean, he technically is, right? Like,
I guess yeah.
so let's see. I think they got to figure something out with Thunder, right? Like, she can't feel her legs.
Well, Thunder's not wrestling. Do you know that?
I know, like, I've got the champions pulled up right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so Thunder, it's a four-way women's match to be the new interim.
I hate that I mean, I understand it, right? Like, UFC does that shit all the time, and I hate it.
So I don't mind the interim. I like how it's a four-way. Like that's my problem with it. Like I would much prefer it to be a two, like maybe a three, but I'd much prefer it to be just a 1-on-1.
I like how, like, they have the nicknames, right, for the wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, Anthony Bowen's thing is the 5-tool player. I don't think I've ever heard anyone call Anthony Bowens the 5-tool player.
Would be, I guess Hangman makes the most sense. That just feels.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those things, right, where you just hope. Like, this is going to be a thing that you're just like, okay. Yeah, so this is as of the 10th. They still obviously have the two champions.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And Hangman Page is the number one contender. And then they have Hobbs listed at 2. I don't think you put him into that match yet.
You'd put him in the other ones. Like, you put him in a different belt. I don't have a problem with it. I just don't see him being in that belt.
I just don't want to see Moxley Jericho.
But it won't be because Jericho's already in a match.
I know. They could easily, though, just say, you know what, screw this, because...
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Card listed. Okay, so the card is currently Danielson versus Jericho, which is going to be a banger of a match.
That's going to be a fucking big... And I like that match because there's no belts. Like, fucking put some of the best wrestlers in the world. But, like, we all want to see them. We don't need a fucking belt on them. Have a good day.
Yeah. Here's the thing I don't like about the women's. You've got Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're telling me you couldn't pull a woman from another one of the stables? Like, you're not going to put Serena Deeb in here or, you know, shit, someone else, right? Like,
is Athena in that match or where?
No,
is she
she's against Jade.
That's what it is. Okay, so I remember her being in a champion.
Yeah.
Which that'd be fine. The Jade versus Athena.
Yeah. Swerve versus the Acclaim. I hate to say it, but as long as Keith Lee can still stand. Keith Lee is like Brock Lesnar to me. There's no legitimate way to make him not the champion.
Powerhouse Hobbs. I think Keith. I would pay him. Fucking.
I think Lee. I think Lee dominates that match.
I think Lee's the people's champion in their hearts.
Also,
like,
I mean, he's a
Keith Lee. He gets like is fucking wild.
He's
like,
also a freak athlete. Like, he's a fat dude with abs. Like, you're trying to tell me this dude, like, it's one of those things, right? Where how do you? Wrestling's really difficult to like not have the star athletes just take over.
Be though.
Right, like how in your right mind can you tell me that literally anyone would stand a chance against Brock Lesnar?
Wait, and I think we've talked about that's my problem with the Superman complex as a wrestling like idea is okay, they're Superman, so no one can beat them. Because wrestling's not like a mind game; it's fucking wrestling at the end of the day.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
like wasn't there an actual WWE match like Brock Lesnar versus Finn Balor? I'm sorry, I love Finn Balor. Brock Lesnar's gonna fucking sit on him and he's done.
Yeah, like trying to convince me that Balor's offense does anything to Lesnar is just like, you know.
And that's my problem. I think in wrestling, if you're gonna have the Superman complex people, what you do, either you need to sideline them, or you need to have weight divisions, which is kind of the belts kind of naturally are.
Which, I mean, dude, again, let's go back to Lesnar, right? He was the perfect champion. He was never there. So when he was there, you were like, oh shit, somebody's about to get fucked up. And it was awesome.
And hear me out, that's my problem too, because I understand it's Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar for, I don't know, time 50. But, like, I don't believe in real life that Roman Reigns could beat Brock Lesnar. I don't even think, like, Roman Reigns, I think, could beat most of the roster of any wrestling. But I still think Brock Lesnar could go whoop his ass.
I mean,
Because
right,
Brock
like...
Lesnar was an actual boxing champion.
Yeah, he was a UFC champion.
He actually fucking almost killed people.
Yeah.
And wasn't he, like, a professional football player, too? Like,
yeah, he tried out for the Vikings. He's a 2-time NCAA heavyweight champion.
like, that's my problem. Is you can't have that and be like, but you see. Also, I don't know if I realized that Brock Lesnar was in New Japan.
Yeah. Oh, there's some stories about Lesnar in Japan. But, you know, it's like, okay, like, I understand that they want to do it for the merch and they want to do it for the pops and stuff like that. Lesnar should have broken San Martino's record.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, you tell a 10-year story with him. He gets the strap. The only way he loses is if he's sick, he somehow got injured, or he's old.
But otherwise, he's fucking unbeatable.
Yeah.
Because when you wasn't Goldberg like that too? Where you fucking just like he was just fucking like no one could touch him.
Oh yeah, he had like 180 something and 0 in WCW.
Right, but like that's what you need. You need fucking that again. Where like if you're gonna make him this unbeatable fucking beast, you gotta make him this unbeatable beast, not just this. But we have another beast almost as good that's slowly getting better.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, think about it, right? Like, Keith has had his health issues, right? Lesnar had diverticulitis. In fact, I still think he deals with it. So there are true weak points, right? There are shoot weak points that these guys have.
But then you should be playing with that as my
Exactly.
idea.
Right? Like, the Acclaimed should be going after Keith's health. You know, like, the next match, right? Like, Jade, Athena. Athena she shouldn't even be involved in this match. She is so much better than Jade Cargill.
Oh, by a mile. Like, I prefer Athena by a mile.
Like, I get it, right? Like, Jade's their thing, right? Their homegrown talent. But she's just so not ready.
Mm-hmm.
Athena is so much better. Wardlow and FTR versus Jay Lethal and MCMG.
That seems like one of those matches, middle of the thing. We don't care, but it seems fine. Like, that's how I view that match. Like, that's the I'm getting a beer match. Like, I'll watch it, but, like, I don't care a ton.
I mean, Wardlow should just fuck Lethal up, right? Like,
oh, I agree. But, like, I don't think
so
it's a bad match, also. Saying I don't care what match is not saying this is going to be a bad match by any stretch.
Yeah. Jungle Boy versus Christian Cage.
That, at least, if you build up. Like, it's been built up pretty nicely. I think it could be fun.
That's going to be a fun, just like, well, these other two, right? So it's Jungle Boy and Cage, and then Ricky Starks and Hobbs. Mm-hmm. Both of those matches are perfect because they are blow-off matches for a story that's been built up for, like, 8 weeks.
But they're with good wrestlers. So blow-off matches and people get each other, you're like, okay, it's going to be a good time.
Yeah. Like, I really hope Jungle Boy goes over and Christian just kind of takes some time. Maybe he does some more backstage stuff, right? Like, they keep him off screen. Because he's so good at what he does. He's such a good chicken shit heel. But you can't just have him coming out every week. Because you lose that. Right? Like, it's one of the things that AEW, I think, when everyone's healthy, AEW excels at better than anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
They've got so much talent on that roster that you don't need everyone out every week.
Which is good. I think that's good. That's the whole argument of they get time off, they do other things. Because AEW doesn't hold people back. Like, You're seeing fucking Mox do like independent circuit shit. Like what? Can you imagine WWE letting the champion go just do shit with the belt around him?
God, you want to raise some shit? Have I don't know, like they would never do it with Jade. Have Wardlow work some indie in the middle of buttfuck nowhere.
Right.
And face off against a guy that AEW is looking at signing anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Have Wardlow drop the title at this tiny indie, and the dude that wins comes to AEW, and it's a complete shock.
Mm-hmm.
You would literally destroy the internet. You would destroy wrestling Twitter.
But I think AEW is good at least trying. I know they're always pulled off, but like there's some level usually good at trying that.
I mean, like the whole, Thunder Rosa going to Japan, right? And and doing that match, like, and her losing.
Right.
They need more of that.
Yeah. What is the next on the card?
The thing we don't need more of is this fuckery going on over HBO.
Yeah, let's talk. So, oh my goodness, we got some Warner news. Okay. So first, older story, but it's kind of happened. HBO Max basically laid off everyone on content. HBO's fine, the way Warner kind of separated them. HBO Max, it was kind of like, yeah, we're not doing this shit anymore. So HBO, not all, but it was like 87%, I think the story says, for layoffs. But, and I remember seeing the story going, sucks. Oh, this was the end of it. Holy fucking shit. The next story that's going to kind of, I'm going to do all three stories kind of as one and we'll talk them together.
Okay.
The next part, which is basically unprecedented in the scale of this, is that, so Warner canceled Batgirl. And people are like, oh, movie's canceled. No. This is a legal tax write-off where they can be fined by the federal government if they bring it out, to the point where the stories I was reading is they canceled the film, let people who worked on the film see an early screening of it, and then they're physically burning some of the tapes to make a point. And then lastly, in this Warner clusterfuck of altogether, they have shifted their entire movie schedule again, besides a couple of films, because the basic underline is they don't have money to release more than 2 giant films this year because they're out of cash. AJ, I'm going to ask this question the nicest way as possible. What the flying fuck happened at Warner Brothers this year?
They put the wrong guy in charge.
Like, let's take this one step at a time, what I just said. So laying off your stream service, that, like, okay, whatever, right?
Well, and
streaming.
that's so the thing that people don't know, or a lot of people don't know, and they're getting confused. The people that got laid off were strictly HBO Max created content.
Right. Not HBO content that goes to Max. HBO
Correct.
Max, like and not all of it, right? So you still have some stuff like The Rehearsal got renewed and a few other things, but it was the bulk of the Max exclusive content. That's what is being canceled. What's more wild about that story, which I didn't add to, is a bunch of it's being pulled off of HBO Max permanently and also being destroyed with Batgirl for tax write-off reasons. This includes like most of their Cartoon Network suite and a bunch of other stuff that's really weird. Yeah, so that's the first thing. The next thing, when I read the Batgirl story, I know it was like one of those, I couldn't sleep. It was like 3 a.m. I read the story and I went, "Am I high right now? Did I just see they're canning a fucking film? Like, that's not like, oh, it's in pre-pro. That like just needs to be edited." And my understanding is there was edit cuts done, just the VFX wasn't done. So they already paid the bulk of the rough cost on this film.
Maybe not. It kind of depends on how much VFX they were looking.
Yeah, but the point is like it's still like, and also like, Batgirl like had the shit like this was like during the like we're coming back with the DC Extended Universe, whatever, right? And they're like, and we have Michael Keaton. Like it's shit like that. Where it's like remember this was like them during like we're good now.
Yeah.
Like that, and like also, well, I know we talked about this. Warner, if you're going to can a DC related film, like just in the fucking can for tax write-off reasons, may I suggest the one where your lead actor might be a pedophile?
Not just a pedophile.
I'm sorry. Pedophile's the nice thing.
They might have felony gun charges coming their way, too.
Like, if I said to you, AJ, blindly, oh, Warner Kid's a DC film, your head would say The Flash, right?
I don't know what I would go to first.
But, like, The Flash would be the logic. Like, if you had to think it through, and I give you the roster of everything, you'd be like, oh, The Flash, because what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, it would be up there. I had honestly forgotten about Batgirl, so if you told me that, I think that's probably that.
But I forgot about it too. But like, just because the Flash for PR reasons, I think it just makes sense to.
Yeah.
But yeah. Also, so the Flash. So the next thing is that all of the things that moved comes out of cash flow, right? Which is the reason why everything got moved. So The Flash is one of these films, and then Aquaman 2 now is coming out in December. So both for The Flash, Aquaman 2, how many years ago do you think they filmed these fucking films? Like, how long have they been sitting on these fuckers?
I mean, well, Aquaman's moving to December of next year.
Is it? I thought it was this year. Oh, it's fucking next year. Yeah.
Shazam was December of this year, but they're moving to March of next year.
Right. But like, both of these films, like Aquaman Lost Kingdom, what is it? Was it filmed 2017 or 18? Like,
I wonder if they're potentially working on some shit to cut Amber Heard out of it.
I guess. Yeah.
It says it needs more time in post-production. The way I read that is we are completely ripping Amber Heard out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, shit, right? Like, I don't know if you saw the reports that, like, The Flash might actually be good.
Okay, but He-Man, I don't believe those, because I don't know if you've noticed, every DC film ever gets the same. I want to put out, so that one was saying that, like, had the best audience view scores since The Dark Knight Rises. Do you know what film had that beforehand? The Bad Suicide Squad. So I don't know if I trust those reports.
Yeah.
Like, the Bad Suicide Squad got a standing ovation at DC. I don't know if I believe these reports here.
But I feel like I've been seeing enough outlets covering it in such a way that, like, okay, maybe this isn't just a DC puff piece. Right, like, maybe there is something to this is potentially actually a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if that's the case, God, that's gonna fucking suck.
Right?
Like, here's this great movie. Oh yeah, by the way, the lead actor is a fucking idiot.
Like, it's not even, like, see me out. I feel weird watching any Kevin Spacey film now. But, like, at least I can be like, this was filmed years ago. Like, The Flash was actually being made during the accusation.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like, so, almost all Kevin Spacey stuff, save for, I think, a season of House of Cards, was pre the stuff really hitting the fan.
Right, that's what I mean. So, like, at least to that one is in theory that, like, they aren't, like, with this one. Like, this one would be like, they were editing this film, and they could have canceled it. Wow. What's happening?
Also, if I told you between Ezra Miller and Jared Leto, which one would go off the fucking rails first? Especially considering what we heard that Leto did when he was Joker. I bet the odds-on favorite in Vegas would have been Leto.
100%.
Yeah, dude. It's going to be a real bummer if this David Zaslav just drives this thing into the fucking ground.
You know, all I can think of the entire time is this to end with, like, Warner being sold for scraps and Disney buying most of it?
Potentially.
Because, like, you know, the second biggest studio in Hollywood should not be out of cash this bad. Like, it could be, like, tight in cash. Oh, yeah, there's bad years, good years. But, like, they didn't move your slate, by all accounts, because, like, hey, we think it's better to move it, we need more time. You moved it because you don't have cash flow for marketing. Think about how wild that statement is.
I would almost bet that the reason they're so cash poor right now is because of this fucking merger debacle that's going on.
Oh no, totally. Like that's even the reason they could do tax write-offs is because of the merger, they're legally a new entity, and that's you can't do that otherwise, right?
Yeah. So I would imagine, right, like they're pushing stuff because they're like, shit, dude, we just gotta fucking figure this out. Like,
when you're a film studio, the way you get more cash is by releasing shit. Like, I guess you are Warner. Give it 5 minutes, your backlog will give you some money. But
yeah.
like that's the way you really make money is by releasing new stuff.
But also, you're destroying your backlog.
Hmm? Like, physically.
Yeah.
Not even like a joke. They're physically destroying the backlog.
The funny thing is going to be, like, when more of this stuff gets pulled, and people are like, okay, we'll just create our own HBO, like, some torrent farm, right? It's just like, shit, here you go, like, here's the Plex servers that you need to go to, where we've basically recreated original HBO. Did you see, though?
Yeah.
You don't have it on here, so I don't know if you did. Movie Pass is coming back.
I did. I didn't know how to write that down. But yeah, Movie Pass is coming back.
I also didn't write
down. Oh my, I did not realize that. Also, I did write down, but just so everyone's aware, this comes out on Friday. So Saturday is National Movie Day, which I think is really cool. I'll be busy, which sucks. It is $3 to any major movie chain in the United States of America, which I think is a really cool thing that, like, cross things are doing with AMC and Alamo and Regal and Classic and all that. They're just being like, it's $3, any movie, just go. So support your local cinema on Saturday. Speaking of the next story I got is, we all knew this was coming, but I think it's time to talk about it. Disney Plus is officially going to be ad-supported on December 8th. It will cost what it does cost now, $7.99 a month. If you want to get an ad-free version, it will cost $11.99 a month. Came out, I'm going to say it. We also is coming because obviously Disney Plus was the cheapest of the major streamings on the market. I'm sorry, Apple, I'm not counting these as the major ones. So $11.99. I'm not saying it's like it's a very steep increase in pricing, obviously. Oh, $10.99. I'm sorry, $10.99. It's a steep increase in pricing. I don't know if I think that's that dummy. Like, if Netflix was $10.99, I don't think anyone would be batting an eye. It's because Netflix is like fucking 20 is why people are upset. Because unlike something like Netflix, you only have the one tier. It's not like with a Netflix, you want the good Netflix, you're paying like 3 tiers up or some shit. What are your opinions on this price increase and price change?
The funny thing is, if I remember right, this doesn't affect the bundle.
Bundle? I don't know.
Disney bundle. Okay, so currently, the Disney, Hulu, ESPN is $13.99 a month, and without ads. Okay, Disney Plus without ads, Hulu with ads, ESPN Plus is $15 a month, and that's if you have it right now. So everything without ads is $20 a month. Shit, I mean, you take that and you pick up HBO and like Paramount. So HBO is 15, so you're at 35. $5 for Paramount, $40 a month. Get a Raspberry Pi for $40 and throw Pi-hole on it. Hook that into your router. No ads on anything. Shit, son. for $40 a month and an extra like 50
total.
Yeah, like a $50 one-time investment, $40 a month. That's awesome. That's so good. And then you got your $50 a month or whatever internet plan. That's so cheap still. Like the amount of content that Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus gives you ad-free at $20 a month is so much greater than Netflix.
Oh, by a mile. That's why I'm like, that price is more expensive, do not get me wrong. I still do not think that price is a point where I'm offended by that price.
Yeah, I'm not offended by this price at all.
Like, especially because they still kept the ad plan. Because, like, let's be honest, you should expect your streaming to go up 50 cents to $1 an average every year. So this ad plan at least makes it so if you don't want it to or can't afford for it to go up, you at least have an option. And if it's like the Hulu ads, what are they like? You watch a couple ads at the beginning of a show or whatever. Like, it's not like it's not even like commercial breaks.
They're pretty invasive.
Are they? Because when I've watched movies on Hulu, I've really only seen like, I don't know if I've seen during the movies. I really don't. I've usually seen in the beginning.
I think it depends on who released the movie as well.
Maybe. Okay.
Because there's definitely some movies where, there's like one or two ad breaks in the movie itself. Like there's the one at the front, then there's one like 40 minutes in, 80 minutes in.
The one at the front is the least offensive of them to me, because I'm like, okay, whatever, go take a piss.
Yeah, it's honestly, those are perfectly timed for most people, especially with families. Because it's like, okay, it's going to be like 2 minutes, 90 seconds to 2 minutes. All right, who needs to go to the bathroom? Quick, go to the bathroom. Grab whatever you want to drink. Like, it's not that bad. Oh shit! I just looked at this. Goddamn. Okay, so Disney Plus without ads, Hulu with live ads, or with live TV without ads, and ESPN Plus. So basically, this is Disney Plus, Hulu Library, ESPN Plus, but also with the Hulu live TV stuff, is $83 a month. That's a bit steep. But, I mean, really, that's only if you want live TV, right? Like, for me, and obviously, right, this scenario is different for a lot of people. I don't need live TV.
Right. Same.
Right, like, would it be nice to watch AEW live? Yes. Do I? No. Football games. I can walk
Also,
across the street to
Amazon
a
now has
bar.
Thursday night games. I
Yeah, they
believe?
have Thursday night football on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
But like Saturdays, right? College football season starting up. I'll just go to B-dubs.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, I don't need to spend that kind of money for 2 or 3 weekends out of a month.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. Next story. I had to shut the story up. I don't know if I sent it to you. So CW got new owners, so it's yada yada. They're trying to become profitable because the network's not profitable because it's network TV. The part that blew up the entire internet, I'm assuming you saw this one happen too, AJ, is the average viewer on the CW, which has great shows like Flash and Arrow and Riverdale, and like the point is like it's the teen type shows.
Yep. Yeah, I guess CW really is that kind
You
of.
saw the show? I saw that. I'm like that. I'm sorry. I had to do a Google. I'm like Riverdale on the CW because like I'm like this can't be real. Like how fucking wild when you think of what is the CW's like shows that people think of, and then you think of their average viewer, and how the hell was a network ran for this long with this strong of a disconnect?
Also, I'm reading this article and I just realized what one of the acronyms is supposed to be. And I was like,
What?
why are they talking? So it's SVOD. It's streaming video on demand. Because I just see like somebody like a quote here, right? Like, our approach will be unlike other broadcast network owners without a dual agenda of greenlighting programming and with potential to cross over to SVOD. What the fuck is SVOD? And then the paragraph above it is talking about their deal with Netflix. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just had to bring that up because wild as can be. I've never seen something so wild and a disconnect in my life and business. Like what?
Yeah, it's like,
final. Go on.
I get it, right? Like, it's I don't know. The CW is one of those networks that is just on at a lot of places. Right, like it's one of the networks, right? Like, all right, somebody's gonna have an ABC, NBC, ESPN, and there's always a CW for whatever reason. Wherever you go, there's always a CW. So their biggest demographic is retired age. And you have to imagine it's women. Right? Like, it doesn't specify.
But it's woman. Like that was what I said. I'm like it's woman.
Like a 58-year-old, a current 58-year-old, male is watching either Fox News, MSNBC, or ESPN.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's just hilarious that. But I mean, like you heard the kind of horror stories of the ratings that the CW shows were getting.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like they're like, holy shit, they're dumping all this money, and then you get the readings back from Nielsen. You're like, hold on. Impact drew better than Riverdale?
Right.
How in the fuck did that happen? Like, Impact is on Axis. Like, yeah.
No,
CW currently spends almost twice what its broadcast network peers do on.
You're like how? How do you think that would be successful? Like,
they spend $2 billion a year on programming. Or maybe that's what they're taking it down to?
But either way.
Yeah, so the quote is, over time we will be taking a different approach to our CW programming strategy and will leverage our experience in spending approximately $2 billion a year on programming, attracting, and monetizing viewers, and transitioning News Nation, our national cable news network, from WGN while maintaining a strict focus on cash flow. So for those that don't know, like, News Nation is Nexstar, who bought out CW. Like, it's kind of their approach at like a Fox News.
Yeah.
To the point where a lot of their shit looks like the Fox Nation stuff that you'll see every now and then. Like, wait, hold on, is this a fucking Fox News joint? And they're like, no, this is News Nation. And I'm like, oh, dear God.
Like they're multiplying.
It's like fucking conservative media. Fucking shit show. One goes down off every network, another one's got its fucking place. I'm not saying, this is not me saying that, you know, CNN doesn't deserve to be taken down a peg. They do. But goddamn, dude. And it's not in here, and it's only because I'm thinking about it. Fox News lawyers are now saying don't take their hosts seriously. It's been certain people, like Tucker Carlson is the famous one. He got sued, and his lawyer said...
defense in court was like... Because there's the... God, I forgot. It's the... Yeah, I know the defense, but yeah.
The quote is like...
no rational person would take this seriously.
Yes, yeah, it's like calling out Fox News viewers, and it's hilarious.
Yeah, no, there's because it's the whole thing. It's satire thing is what it is. Yeah, it's satire defense. So it's the whole like, the reason something can be satire is because no reason person can, like, you can't look at SNL at any point and anyone can take it seriously, which is why celebrities can't sue them for making fun of them because they exaggerate them to a point in theory where you can't look at that and be like, well, that's the same person. No one would believe that.
Yeah. But now more of their hosts are getting that label slapped on them by their own lawyers. Which at some point, right, like, if all of your anchors have that label slapped on them.
But hear me out. So this is what I'm going to say. I'm going to give the same defense to the big three of the networks.
Yeah.
All right, so the MSNBC and thing, Fox. The issue with 24/7 cable news is, so all of them have it. They're just, some of them are better at dividing them or not, is you have two segments, right? You have the opinion segment, you have the news segment. The issue with all three of them is they never make that clear indication of when they are. You have to, like, dig into the records to be like, okay, who's considered the news person, who's considered, like, Tucker Carlson is obviously considered the opinion person, right? In the same way that Joy Reid is considered an opinion person at MSNBC, or the same way that Chris Cuomo was an opinion person at CNN. They never say that, but it's like, in, you know, it's in their, like, written documentation or whatever.
Yeah.
But the issue is, the reason no one takes it seriously is because your biggest people are all your opinion people, but you say you're a news network, so naturally you're going to go, oh, those are your news people, right? Because of course you're just going to say that. Like, that's the problem with all of them, have the same problem of, like, the reason no one takes you seriously is because you don't make the point to separate them.
Fucking Ted Turner.
You're going to make your point and go look at the extremists, because that's who they are, right? Because you're like, who's our audience? Go 1,000. Have a good day.
Yeah,
like, that's who the biggest people are.
It's, like, it's Ted Turner's fault. Like, if Ted Turner didn't decide to have a 24-hour news network... Actually, that's a bigger discussion for a later date, potentially coming up in about a month and a half, but it is an interesting question to think, like, if CNN wasn't built as being the first 24-hour news network, like, where would we be today?
Or if it was built differently, where you actually, like, made it be like, this is news and this is, like, you actually had the separate, like, the walls that were clear.
Well, it's just the 24-hour part that is more of an issue.
That would be Yeah, a final film and TV story I wanted to shout out is Top Gun Maverick is now the 6th most successful film in U.S. market history at the box office. The thing about it is it has passed Avengers Infinity War and put it at the number 6 slot. Because Top Gun Maverick, even though it just came out digital, I think it's still fucking in theaters somehow.
Oh, I saw an ad this past weekend that was like, still in theaters and now on digital.
What the fuck?
I was like, okay.
I am convinced they're never going to take Top because Top Gun movie last week or some shit.
Dude, so Top Gun Maverick is going to take us back to the era of where, like, I think I think the first Star Wars movie was in theaters for a year and a half.
Oh no! I know for a fact that like it would like use. I'm sorry. Let me find. I want to find you the weekly domestic box office as we're talking. But yeah,
like it's just going to be one of those movies that. It's also one of the few movies where scaling it down is going to be rough.
So Top Gun Maverick has slipped, everyone, I apologize, to the 4th spot this week.
Like, even with, like, Interstellar was always my infamous, like, you have to go see Interstellar
in theaters.
In IMAX.
No, you need to see Top Gun Maverick fucking in IMAX.
Yeah. I don't think... I mean, obviously I'll get Top Gun Maverick for digital or eventually a physical copy. I don't know if I want to watch it that way, though. Like, it's such a good just put your ass in a theater, crank the sound, and just enjoy yourself.
Oh, you have something wild? Top Gun Maverick is in the 5th most theaters of any movie period right now. On week 13.
I believe it.
Top Gun Maverick in modern times has to be the best tale of any movie in history.
Yeah, because I guess like the Avengers movies, they didn't necessarily have a tale.
They did, but it was faster.
Well, like, but it was more of Disney bought out entire theaters.
Right, I know. You definitely had a little more of a force. Well, Top Gun Maverick, it was a natural tale.
Yeah.
Like they only re-released that shit everywhere because like people wanted to go see it.
Yeah, there was still the demand.
Like, I don't understand. Like, and what's funny is this was one of those sequels that everyone heard it and went, "We don't want that." Like 100%. Like this was one of the few times where we were all wrong.
I think when I heard the first rumblings that they were going to do this. Now, granted, the first rumblings for a Top Gun remake were like 10 years ago. So at the time, I was like, yeah, I guess, right? Like, they can probably update it a little bit, right? Like, I don't know what they'll try to do. But sure, yeah, like, we'll see how it is. And then it was always just like, well, they're gonna remake Top Gun, and I was just like, okay, yeah, sure you are, right? Like, it became one of those just somebody wants to do it. I'm like, okay, and then with Tony Scott killing himself, that definitely put a damper on it. You're like, okay, well, this isn't happening anymore. And then suddenly it was, and you're like, okay, sure. Right, like, Tom Cruise is 60 years old, Val Kilmer's almost dead, like, sure. Right, like, I think a lot of people are just like, whatever. It'll still be fun, but who cares, right? Like, speaking of who cares, I'm going to move a little bit of these around in a different order to fit that transition.
Okay, go on.
V Rising has apparently sold in the neighborhood
2.5?
Yeah, of 2.5 million copies.
So I just wanted to shout it out because I want to give the background of we got the code for V-Rising a couple months ago. I sent it to AJ, who neither of us knew this game would be a big deal, and he tried to show me, went, it was fine, I don't think anything of it. And then it turned into the fucking biggest thing in the world.
Yeah, I think I streamed it. Like, I had heard, like, a big name streamed it, like, earlier in the week or something like that.
No one thought that it's...
I'm like, okay, it was probably some, the PR company is sending keys out or whatever.
Right.
I think the next week I checked on Twitch and, like, V-Rising had a total of, like, 50,000 viewers.
Yeah.
And I was like, hold on. Like, I hate to say it, but this game wasn't that fun.
Yeah. And I think the more we played it, I don't think it's a bad game. I think it's rough on the edges, but it's not a bad game. But at no point would you have been like, it's gonna be the hottest game in like for a hot minute. I'd be like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
Especially because like the way, like how lukewarm you originally were is why I find it funnier. Because like I don't think we expected. We did not expect it when I talked to them. Like none of that was expected. How it just blew up. Like good for them. Studio making money. Good for them. But I just want to shout out because we did not. There was no way we saw this coming.
Yeah, there's no way I saw it coming. Sure.
Cool.
Along with speaking of things that I don't think people saw coming, the Embracer Group has embraced the rights to Lord of the Rings. Now, this is the novelization rights.
Right.
So it's not the film rights. As far as I know, and this stuff hasn't, I don't think has been fully cleared. I don't know how it affects the show, the Amazon show.
My saying is it doesn't because those rights are probably like, especially because it's still happening. Like,
yeah. They also acquired Limited Run Games. For those who don't know,
is the physical company that does a lot of those like limited release stuff of like that'd be Limited Run Games. You've probably seen their stuff without realizing you've seen those stuff.
Limited Run Games is a collector's wet dream.
Cool stuff. Like it totally is. Like it's one of those cool niche markets that I'm really excited that that like exists. Because once in a while, it's like a game or an IP I care about. Like 90% I don't care, but like you always got those moments you're like, oh, it's cool. Or like when you buy stuff and they have actually. My favorite thing is when you buy stuff. I don't know if you bought stuff through them. Is a lot of times that when you buy a thing through them, that you could buy a blind bag, which is like $5 or $10, and just choose a platform, and they'll just send you a random game they just have extra of. Look, I've done that thing and be like, here's nephews, here's a random game, I don't know what it is. Which is like this fun, it's like a fun little like, oh, it gives money for a dumb thing that I care exists, like Limited Run Games, I think does cool stuff. And then it's relatively cheap games. Win that way.
Yep. Something that's not relatively cheap. PlayStation 5 will quick cover this. Is basically going up $50 in a lot of regions.
It's every region but the US, pretty much. There's some exceptions, but broadly speaking, assume unless you're in the US, your region went up.
Yep. By 50 of your equivalent.
Right. It's interesting because we saw the Meta thing last month with the $100 increase. And it's also interesting because both Microsoft and Nintendo are like, we ain't doing that. But yeah, I think that's reflective of two things. PS5s are still stupid hot on demand, right? Because they're still selling out places. A little less, but they're still selling out places. And there is legitimate global inflation, especially, and this is where they're killing them, on shipping, right? And that shipping you saw into 2020, and like now it's coming down, but it's still historically high. And I think that a lot of where that revenue's been eaten up is the getting it places. And that's why you saw it in other segments first where it's shipping heavy. With the US, obviously, because we don't produce stuff here, you have a lot of shipping heaviness, but like because of our in-country infrastructure, it's not as atrocious once it gets here. But other spots, it was worse. But I am genuinely curious how long you could hold out until you have to increase the US market if it stays this bad.
Here's something that I think a lot of people don't don't see about this stuff, about shipping specifically.
Mm-hmm.
So China is currently trying to build a rail network into Turkey,
Mm-hmm.
which would then theoretically connect Europe to China by rail. That project has been hitting snag after snag.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to ship these things.
Mm-hmm.
And currently, who knows, maybe tomorrow, as we're recording this, some of the stuff may change, but there are like 18 war zones that a boat from Japan currently has to go near.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to take longer. They're going to have to hire security. You know, there are a lot more added costs. That being said, I hate to say it, people, but everything has permanently been inflated. This isn't going down. These shipping companies now realize
the increases, like the increase to increase year over year, will obviously should go down to normal levels, but like you're eating those prices, they'll just kind of naturally get better over time because that's how that stuff works.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if when supply meets demand, a 40-footer costs $6,000 more than it did in 2015.
Sure, but there's the percentage rule. Like, there's a lot of weird stuff kind of in that.
So,
yeah.
Speaking of PlayStation, Savage Games, which is a mobile, manufacturer.
This happened literally today. I saw it this morning. I was like, crap, I had the show notes. They bought a mobile studio. It goes in line with, I think, two big things that Sony's been doing. Obviously, acquisitions, because inflation's been high, as we've been saying. And Sony has said by 2025, I think they want 10 live service games under their portfolio. And I think this team, I'm assuming, is going to be a massive help within that. Be my assumption. I bet you're going to see a mobile first live service game from Sony under this umbrella at some point in the next couple of years. Would be my assumption of what this team is doing.
Yeah.
So.
This next story is huge.
Yes and no, but go on.
No, it's huge. So, if you, previous to this announcement happening, if you became partnered on Twitch,
mm-hmm.
you were exclusive to Twitch.
Right.
Right, so you couldn't be, out and about and pull up, for instance, Periscope and stream on Periscope or Facebook Live on your phone. That was a big no-no. In fact, there were several partners that got kicked out of their contracts because of that. They are lifting, which is that exclusivity agreement. So now,
right.
So now, a Twitch partner could stream on Twitch Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and stream on YouTube Tuesday, Thursday. The only thing they can't do is stream on another platform while they are streaming on Twitch.
You could co-stream, though, on what they consider short-form platforms, so that includes stuff like TikTok you can actually live stream on, which is the interesting one I'm intrigued by, but yeah.
I mean, I guess, right, like, I didn't know TikTok did live stuff.
I didn't either time I read that, but that was, like, one of the big things I remember reading, was, like, because people were, like, confused by the co-streaming part of it, and that's what I read, is you could do it on what they consider short-form, non-competing content, so that would be along the lines of TikTok, but this is the biggest example, obviously, there.
Yeah. It's certainly interesting, right? Like, in terms of the simulcasting stuff, right? So, like, streaming to Twitch as well as streaming to YouTube. The thing of it is, like, in situations like that, I'll use a channel that I know does it, right? The Funhouse channel. I know they stream their stuff to YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they do it to Twitch as well. But they are reading the chat from their website. Right. So Twitch's argument that engaging in two streams at once can lead to a suboptimal experience? Absolutely. Because you'll have YouTube chat talking to YouTube chat, you'll have Twitch chat talking to Twitch chat, and you'll have their own site. That's the only one they're really dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It's something that Giant Bomb has actually done very well, where they've got multiple people reading different chats. So Dan Reichert can bring up something that happened in Twitch chat. Jess O'Brien can talk about something that happened on GiantBomb.com chat. Jeff Grubb can talk about Discord chat. Like, you know, they're doing it right in that situation. So even though, yes, you're engaging outside of their native platform, which is their website, they're engaging everyone. So I think the co-stream thing that Twitch doesn't want you to do is really down to the streamer themselves. It's not down to Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think the driving force behind this is, I don't know if you saw this or not, or have been, keeping up with it, like Lily Pichu, Dr. Lupo, Myth, Ludwig, there's several other big Twitch stars left Twitch and went over to YouTube.
Right. I've been seeing that.
And for those that don't know, we don't have subscriptions on our Twitch channels because we're not big enough.
Mm-hmm.
But Twitch takes half of a subscription, whatever tier it is. They take half. And, bits, right? Like, they pay out, I think it's 80% of what you tip a streamer in bits. And obviously you buy them from Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
So, seeing some of these big channels, like Lily Pichu is a perfect example of, she has a huge audience, is very active with subscriptions and donations and stuff, and that is a huge loss for Twitch in terms of money, right? Like, that's insane. You could be losing in the neighborhood of $1,500 to $2,000 a day by losing somebody like that. And you've lost probably 6 of them that are that big or bigger. So it's definitely rough. I wouldn't be surprised if we see, I would say, the vast majority re-partner with Twitch.
Yeah, I can see something like that.
Like, obviously, most of them are going to have an exclusive with YouTube that they won't be able to, I mean, theoretically, they could get out of. But, yeah, so that's going to be the interesting part, right? Like, when exclusivity deals run up, are the streamers just going to be going after the bag, which obviously they should, and signing deals with Twitch and YouTube and whatever else, right? Like, okay, I'm going to be a partner on Twitch, I'm going to be a partner on YouTube, and, Meta's going to send me a blowjob doll or whatever to stream on their platform, right? Like, I don't know.
Also, I
Facebook
didn't
Live is.
put on here, by the way, while we're in this weird thing, Facebook announced that Facebook Games is shutting at the end of the year. If you thought Meta was at all becoming more functional as a company.
No, it's definitely not. Speaking of dysfunctional companies, the Untamed Isles.
I put this in because it was wild.
A, quote, Pokemon-like MMORPG with optional play-to-earn elements, quote, has been placed on indefinite hiatus.
So the basic what happened is they got a bunch of money. They're a Web3 game, so naturally getting a good Web3 game. During the height of crypto, they threw all their money in crypto. And anyone guess what happened to the crypto markets over the last 6 months? AJ, any guesses what happened to the crypto markets over the last 6 months?
Well, before that happens, right, the project raised 841,000 New Zealand dollars through Kickstarter.
Which again, not endless money, but you can make a good size. You can make an indie game with that money. You have a couple people. You can totally do it.
Yeah. Apparently, their current weekly wages are around 100,000 New Zealand dollars, which is about 50,000 pounds a week. So they covered 2 months worth of wages.
Huh. Never mind. I took that as way different. I was thinking that like almost like a 1-to-1 transfer. I was way wrong.
Oh yeah, well it's about 2 New Zealand to 1 British pound. So they had personally been funding it, and then the crypto money came in.
Bring in the crypto! Ding, 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 ding.
They currently have no funds to keep the lights on. And the game is quote-unquote frozen. Yeah. The interesting thing is, this wouldn't have been able to be released on Steam.
Because they have the ban, don't they?
Yeah, Rule 13, which is banning applications built on blockchain technology that use or allow exchange of crypto or NFTs.
But they would be out in the Epic Store, though, remember? Tim Sweeney said he's open to all Web3.
Well, Tim Sweeney's just open to whoever pays him. Tim Sweeney is a video game whore. And there's the episode title. That's.
I just had to put it in there because it was one of those stories. I'm like, it was one of those like we all knew it was going to happen, but it finally did at like some decently big scale.
So this is. Okay. Fat Loot, who was developing this, hired Wolf Glick, who was a former Pokemon World Champion, to help oversee and design the combat system in the game. And obviously, right, like, he's going to have contacts, so they kind of teamed up with them. All of that, excuse me, all of that good grace with those influencers defeated with a single tweet. Somebody tweets to someone, isn't this that play-to-earn crypto/NFT game, though? Wolfie responds, originally, the game intended to implement NFTs, but after I spoke with the team and some external factors, they decided to move away from it. There are no crypto or NFT features implemented into the game itself. The only remnant is an optional external marketplace. Since that tweet, everything has fallen apart.
Mm-hmm.
This game currently apparently has only 50 pre-sales.
Jesus.
Whereas the company had hoped for between 2,000 and 3,000. Yeah.
To put in perspective, when me and Corey launched our game on Steam, you did the wish list or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I think we had closer to 1,000 wish lists. Just to put numbers, I know that wish lists aren't pre-sales, but to put those numbers in perspective of what you're talking of how bad that is.
Yeah. So now, obviously, the backers of the Kickstarter aren't sure if they're ever going to get anything. At least 10 backers paid as much as 12,000 New Zealand dollars. So 6,000 pounds.
Yeah, so $1 New Zealand dollar for everyone's wear is 0.62 US dollars.
Yeah. This is sad.
But yeah. Next story we got, due to the tail end of stories, is I just want to shout out. We have some news on the AEW game, AEW Fight Forever by THQ Nordic, which I do always want to shout out is really cool seeing a wrestling game do the old THQ logo in front, and that's on purpose. And I think it looks fine. I don't know. I'm excited to kind of see as it goes. I'm curious kind of as we hear more and get dates for it and all that. But
yeah, I mean, they said they weren't going for the photorealistic, so
right, which is fine. I have no problem with it. If it plays well, I'm fine with it being a little more cheesy if we get a better play experience.
Yeah, I mean they're basing it on the No Mercy games,
which I would argue is the games that everyone points to as the best games for wrestling.
Yeah.
So they know what's good. I think there's a nostalgia hit 100% when you start with the old THQ logo in front of a wrestling game with Ukes. And I'm hoping that means we get something good out of it. By all accounts I heard is it looks not the best, but at the same time I've heard that it plays decently well based on people who got to kind of see it better and get hands on it. So.
Which the funny thing is, right, I would much rather have a game that looks a little off anyways, because wrestling games never look good.
Right, so I'd rather them be instead.
They have they have the photogenic, right, Triple H coming down during his entrance.
But hear me out. That's what it needs. It needs to be, then you need just the can intro is what it needs to be. Beyond that, you don't need it.
Yeah. And that looks awesome. But then you snap to Triple H in the ring, and it's trying to be photorealistic, but his hair is glitching all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And you're okay, this is just ruining it. Who cares, right? Speaking of things, cares. Gamescom happened. That's not the who cares.
I just wanted to shout out because there was some stuff in here. So the final big story is a kind of a bunch of roundup of games. We have to start about the first one of the story because the moment the trailer started, I texted Dan. I went, I think this is it. We finally get a Dead Island 2 date after 8 fucking years.
And no one cares.
I'm generally curious because obviously, God, what was it that became the replacement for Dead Island? You know what I'm talking about. Dying Light. So Dying Light obviously was basically they made Dead Island again. So I'm very curious, but I think it was worth shouting out. I'm trying to think of anything else that on this list. We got Gotham Knights gameplay, which looks fine. Hogwarts Legacy gameplay. Callisto Protocol, which I know you're excited for. I'm excited for the DualSense Edge. I want to hear more about it. What is the cost of that thing?
That's the thing, right? Okay, is the DualSense Edge going to be $180 like the new?
Right. I want to know what is the cost. How does that cost compare to the Pro controller for Xbox?
That's $180.
Is it? But the original, So the original version that was $140. That was the new one then.
Yeah, the new one's $180.
Okay. I don't think we have a price or anything on this yet.
No, we don't.
So.
Also, don't interact with the Hogwarts Legacy for a couple different reasons. One, J.K. Rowling's a fucking douchebag. Two, unless you get that game on PlayStation, you won't be able to complete it.
What?
Yep.
What?
There is a PlayStation exclusive quest.
Oh.
Locked behind that. And from the sounds of it, it's not like Destiny, where their PlayStation exclusive stuff was like, okay, it's a skin of a gun that's already in the game. We're just going to call it something else. And a strike, which is already some standalone content.
Mm-hmm.
From the sounds of it, quests in Hogwarts Legacy are impactful. So, you're going to have one platform that's going to have an extra quest. So, yeah. New Tales from the Borderlands, High on Life.
I'm excited for Tales of Borderlands, and I think High on Life looks fun. I want to see a little bit more, I think, or I want to see some more trailers, but I think High on Life is something that, like, especially like Steam Deck's coming. I think that'd be the type of shit I'd play on there. So I'm very curious.
There's really only two others that I want to talk about on here.
Is it Kojima?
Well, so first off, Dune Awakening is coming out.
I was excited till I saw the word MMO.
I am cautiously optimistic. Because if they use the aesthetic from the movie, I think it could at least look awesome. And I would gladly devote 20 hours to try it out. And finally, the biggest news of Gamescom. Potentially the biggest news in gaming in the last 5 years, 10 years, ever. Hideo Kojima now has a podcast.
So, they brought Kojima out, right? And I'm like, okay, it's Jeff, it makes sense. And when they started going, I'm like, where is he going with this? And I saw the Spotify logo behind his head, right? So it's like the back left point. And I'm like, I looked, I was like, no, it can't be. And all of a sudden, you just see they go, and I am proud to announce. And I was like, holy fucking shit, they just announced a podcast with Kojima.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So the thing that's funny, right? So they announced the podcast. Every episode's going to be in English and Japanese.
That's actually really cool.
So it's really cool. So in my head, the funniest way to do that, which is obviously not what they did, would be if Hideo Kojima did the interview first in Japanese, and then he had to redo the entire interview with the guy in English. I think it would be the funniest shit in the world. Like, it's not translate, it's just he had to redo it again. The exact same thing.
So, do you think that the 8-4 team will do the translation work for that?
Maybe. That makes sense.
I think they have some stuff with Kojima that they've already done. Like, they already have a working relationship there. And, I mean, the two kind of forward-facing guys from 8-4 are, they have a podcast. So, they're not afraid to do it, I guess is the right word. And I believe they're both still over there in Japan.
That makes sense.
That would be pretty cool to see.
Yeah. That is all of the news, the 5th of the month of August 2022. To round off the show, we're going to shout out some games. To put in perspective, there was no game to shout out in September that really mattered. When I say how dead of a year it is. So October, we get Overwatch 2 on October 4th, Gotham Knights on a new date of October 21st. It was October 25th. Call of Duty on October 28th with the asterisk of if you pre-order it, you get the campaign on the 20th, which means that's probably what I'll do. God of War on November 9th, Pokemon on November 18th, both versions, Callisto Protocol on the 2nd of December, and per the rules, we are still marking Starfield and Redfall for an unmarked date in 2023. Finally, the way we end the show, like we always do, we need to discuss what film we is watching this month. I gave us two options because those are the best two that popped in my head. You have Clerks 3, the Kevin Smith film, or you have Don't Worry, Darling, starring Florence Pugh and the one guy from One Direction. Thoughts, concerns, ideas?
The one guy from One Direction. Harry Styles.
Nah, fuck it, we're going with the one guy from One Direction.
Not that one. Don't worry, darling. Let's see. Yes, that's Harry Styles.
Am I wrong? He's not the one guy from One Direction?
He is one of the guys from One Direction.
It's not like he has an album out there that's on, like, the top 100 albums of all time or some shit. He's just the one guy from One Direction.
What in the Sam fuck is this movie?
Have you not seen the trailers for it?
No, I'm looking at Wicked Game, which apparently is coming out in September.
There was other stuff, to be fair, but I just, of, like, stuff that I popped. Like, that was kind of...
Yeah, no, I accidentally middle-clicked it when I was trying to get down to, Don't Worry, Darling. I mean, no, I found the one that we need.
What is it?
Hockey Land.
What the flying fuck is Hockey Land?
It is a documentary
Oh, no.
about
Northern Minnesota.
Yep, Northern Minnesota hockey.
Goodness. It is literally only at the film theaters by me that have, like, Film Society subscriptions or some shit. It's literally, like, nowhere.
Oh yeah, I think this is one that we would have to buy and watch.
There was...
I mean, this would actually be a really cool thing to do. Like, you know, in a month like September where there really isn't any, like, big blockbuster, instead of finding, you know, okay, let's find something that is going to be wide release. Like,
I mean, if I can find a way to reasonably buy it, I will agree to this, which I do not see.
Let's see, let me go to their official site.
Oh, it's saying it will be available to stream on September 8th. I think.
This is apparently a third film in a trilogy. Let's see.
Yeah,
Bunch of fucking...
my issue is us finding a way to see it.
National.
It's in a lot of Minnesota theaters.
Yeah,
Fucking all of them, apparently.
Oh, I can go see this.
Fuck it. Hockeyland it is. So the movie of the month is Hockeyland. I am sorry that Mr. Boy of the Directions, you have lost the vote.
I'm curious, this Northland Films, like, they say they're a trilogy, like... Land Films. Okay, their website. Projects. So they have Hockeyland. They have Pond Hockey. And Saving Brenton. This part 2? No? This is a barnstorming movie, man. Pond Hockey. about Pollen hockey. Here's the funny thing, like on the Hockeyland site it says that it's the third in a trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
On the production company's website, it doesn't say anything about that.
But yeah, that will be our film.
Also, I gotta support the guys up in Duluth. Like, I have family there, so.
It's Duluth. We will allow it.
Duluth's fucking awesome.
Support. I do like Duluth. Duluth's kind of fun. Duluth during the summer is fun, not during the winter. Support your local Duluth. But yeah, that is it for us on the SWW Show. Thank you everyone for joining us for this long episode. We haven't done one this long in a long time. Remember, I don't remember what we named this episode. I think it was like Tim Sweeney's the video game bitch or something.
Tim Sweeney's a video game whore.
That's it. Tim Sweeney's a video game whore. But yeah, thank you everyone for joining us. Remember to subscribe, to hit the like button on all the other shit you do. So remember, check out we have some Formula S races coming up. We'll be doing some podcasts for. We have interviews some weeks. We have Movie Club in other weeks, and we live stream almost every Wednesday at twitch.tv/Generic Jericho. Goodbye, everyone. Have a good day, and support your local Duluthians. The SWW Show and all of its affiliate podcasts are podcast by me, Mike Maroney, and AJ Losi, sometimes by contributors, including Corey King. You can follow the SWW Show on social media at the SWW Show, or sooner or later you go to patreon.com/SWW to help us out. Thank you, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your day.